friends, I hope you guys are doing well. Today we're going to be talking about one of my current favorite palettes in my collection. It is the Glamlite times Betty Boop palette. Glamlite collabed with Betty Boop, which I think is super cute. They did this for Valentine's Day a couple months ago, so I've had a lot of time with this palette. I'm going to show you 3 different looks, show you swatches, and give you my thoughts on the formula, and yeah, just let you know how it performs because like I said, I have used it a lot, so I'm very familiar with it. I guess it's already kind of a spoiler because I told you I've been loving it so much, but I'll let you know about pigmentation, best way to apply, what I think of the shimmers, all that jazz, and give you some inspiration if you yourself did pick up this palette. I just wanted to reignite your imagination if you did pick this up and you're looking for some looks to do with it, or if you just want to recreate these looks with similar colors in your own collection and get some inspiration that way. I hope this video is helpful. If it is, please give it a thumbs up. It really helps my channel out. Also, I would love to have you back. Please consider subscribing. It is absolutely free to do so, and it really helps me out, and it just lets you find my videos a little bit easier. If you like beauty, if you like makeup, if you like eyeshadow, definitely consider subscribing. Let me give you some background about the palette. Duh. So here's the palette. Of course, you can see the packaging. It has this cute little shifty, what is this even called? Like holographic-y? I don't know. It's very like my childhood nostalgia in a palette. It comes with a mirror on the inside and you get Miss Betty Boop right there. And then here is the gorgeous color story. It is spectacular. Reds, berry tones, a little bit of neutrals. You get 15 shades. So it retails for $32. So usually you can find a discount code from other YouTubers who have affiliation with the brand, and you can get some money off. So full price is $32, which I actually feel is very reasonable for the quality of this. You get 7 shimmer shades, which are spectacular, out of this world, so pretty. And you get 8 mattes. The mattes are super pigmented, very pigmented. This is the most intense black you'll ever use. Very blendable. So I'm really impressed with the matte formulation. It's literally so good, so opaque. The only thing I will say is this black is so pigmented that you need to be a little bit careful. It can get out of hand very quickly. Same thing with the other shades. I would say tread on the side of caution because they are very pigmented. It's easy to overblend. It's easy to get something more blown out than maybe you initially anticipated. So less is more. I would say go in with a little bit less than what you may think and start building from there. But they do blend really easily and they layer up on top of themselves really easily. The shimmers are gorgeous. You do have some like shifty shades in here. This Ooh La La lavender shade, it kind of shifts from silver to lavender, which is so gorgeous. Some of the shades are a bit more metallic and some are more of like a metallic or a shimmer with little, not glitter, but more like reflex scattered throughout it. For example, this shade, Classy Chic, it has an orangey clementine base, but it has a lot of little like particles scattered on top of it, which makes it so dimensional and beautiful on the eyes. This shade Pudgy doesn't have as much of a base as some of the other shimmers. It's a little bit more piecey. You can almost sheer it out for like a diamond sort of effect. It's more of a topper, I would say. Major Sass is the one that I'm wearing today, and this definitely has a more opaque red base with hot pink, fuchsia, lavender reflex throughout it. So a little bit of like differences in the formula, but all of the shimmers are so beautiful. Literally some of my favorite shimmers in my collection. They just look so dimensional on the eyes. That's the best word I can use to describe it. You'll be seeing me apply a lot of these shades. Almost all the shades I think I used. Maybe not this shade, and this shade, and this shade. But most of the other shades, I think I used more than 10 of them in the 3 looks. So you'll see how they apply, how they look on my skin, and how they look layered over other shadows. So I hope you guys enjoy the 3 looks. Let me know in the comments down below which look is your favorite, and let's go ahead and jump into look number 1. So for look number 1, I'm gonna keep things pretty simple. We're gonna take the shade Irresistible, which is like this burnt orangey red terracotta, and we're just gonna put that everywhere, all over the crease. Shape out the eye with that. So I'm starting here on this outer corner and just really working that into the eye primer and start slowly bringing it into the crease. I'm not too worried yet about blending. I'm just trying to lay the color down where I want it. And I'm going to pop that along the lower lash line as well while we're here. Okay, and then on the lid, we're going to take Classy Chic. which is this gorgeous clementine orange and silver metallic. It's got a lot of little tiny glitter particles in it, but it's not a glitter. They're ultra fine. It is so, oh, so pretty. So scrumptious. One of my favorite shades in the palette. So gorgeous. All right, I think I'm gonna deepen up a little bit with She's a Star. Just a little bit on the outer corner. I'm not taking it as high up as the Irresistible shade. And then I'll pop a little bit of that super close to the lashes on this outer, like half of my lower lash line. Pretty, and that's basically the look. So I'm just gonna finish this up and then we will see the finished product. Alright guys, so here's the finished look number 1. I absolutely love this look. The shade Classy Chic is so stunning. Literally my favorite shade in the whole palette. It is so gorgeous. And I feel like this look is glam, but still wearable for every day because it's not too deep, not too dramatic. So let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and let's go ahead and get into look number 2. Okay friends, we're back for look number 2, and today I think I want to do something with these 3 colors right here. Maybe a halo eye, like a deep, vampy, berry halo eye. And I'm just feeling like going super dramatic today, so let's do it. All right, I'm going to start packing on the color with my Singe EO4. I recently picked these brushes up because Singe was having their like 1-year anniversary, and I've always wanted to try these, and so far I've really been liking them. They're really great, and I especially like this one for packing on color. So I'm using the shade Boop Boop Doop, which is the Deep Plum, and this is pretty much going to be like the structure of our halo eye. I want the halo eye to be kind of at an angle. Instead of going straight down, I'm angling it out. And then I'm just pressing most of the color here, and whatever's left I'm just gently sweeping out. But I don't want too much pigment right away. And then I'm just pressing that same color in the inner portion of my eye. I'm not too worried about blending just yet. I'm just sort of placing the color first. And then I'm going to start blending the edges. I'm not taking any more product. Just doing small little like circles and back and forth to diffuse. And then to really make sure I blend everything easily, I do tilt my head back just to make sure I really get every little nook and cranny. And then I go back to looking straight ahead in my mirror. And then I'm going to take a clean, fluffy brush just to really blend. I don't want to add any more product. And while we're here, I'll pop that Boop Boop Doop along the lower lash line as well. And I am going to bring that into my inner corners too. And now I'm just packing on a bit more color to create a little bit of a depth, more depth, since we blended some of the pigment away. I'm going to take a smaller little pencil brush. It's pretty thin, just so I can get really close to the lashes. And as you can see, I'm not leaving a space on the bottom. I'm just going to do no halo on the bottom, only on the top. Okay, I think that's looking pretty good. Just to help with the grading a little bit, I'm going to take the lighter purple called Icon and just press that on the edges. Then just to make this even more dramatic, I'm going to go in with this black, which is like one of the most intense blacks I've ever used. It's called Little Black Dress. It's super pigmented, so literally just boop, that's all you need. And I'm smudging that really close to the lashes. I'm just going back in with the deep purple, Boop Boop Doop, just to tap over that black to make sure it's a seamless transition. All right, and then in the center of the lid, I'm going to take xoxo, which is this really pretty like silvery purple. And then for a little pop right smack dab in the center, I'm going to take this vibrant lavender metallic called Ooh La La. Okay, and that's pretty much the look. So I'm gonna go ahead and do the same on the other eye, pop on some lashes, some mascara, and then we'll be back to see the finished look number 2. Alright guys, so here is the finished look number 2. I really love how this one turned out. I just added a little bit of black eyeliner to my waterline and tightlined my upper lash line. It popped on some of my Clio Kill Lash mascara, and then this is the finished look. I really like how it turned out. It's so sultry and dramatic, but still somehow wearable for spring because of the purple, the pop of color, still fun. So I really love this look. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and let's go ahead and get into the third and final look. Okay, here we are for look number 3, the last and final look. I'm so excited about this one. I want to do something ultra smoky with this black eyeshadow because I will say this black is one of the most intense blacks I've ever used in a palette in my entire life. And I also want to use this red Major Sass because, I mean, how can we use the Betty Boop palette without using this gorgeous neon red shade? So I think we're going to do something with those 2 shades predominantly. So let's just get started. But because I am going to do a little bit more of a smoky liner moment, I am going to start with a eyeliner. This one's from Pixie. It's their Endless Silky Eye Pen in the shade Black Noir. This part's gonna look a little gross because I'm gonna be all up in my eyeball, but basically I'm just gonna go around the upper waterline and like in between my lashes and my waterline on the bottom, and try not to poke my eyeball out. This is one of the most uncomfortable steps in makeup, but if you're doing a smoky or really intense eyeliner, this step is crucial because you want the most depth to be around your eyeball. So you have to really make sure you're getting all that negative space. And an eyeliner is just the best way to do that because obviously a powder is not going to stick in these areas. And I like this Pixie eyeliner because it is very, very pigmented. It stays in place, but it's really easy to smudge as well, which is kind of what you want when you're doing a smoky liner. You want to be able to blend a bit. So I'm just taking a small little like angled brush, any small brush would do, and I'm just gently not swiping, but like flicking a little bit just to blend. I'm not like going crazy back and forth because that will just get the product everywhere and it will lose a lot of the intensity. I just want to soften the edges and make sure there's no harsh lines. And then at this outer corner, I am just dragging it out the slightest bit. Okay, basically that's what we want. Now I'm going to take a small like smudgy brush. Before we go into the black, I do want to just create like a subtle shadow so it's not, so like the black doesn't get too out of control too quickly, because if I go in straight with this black, I feel like it's such an intense black that I'm going to have a bigger wing than I want. So I'm going to start with Wink and a Giggle, which is like this taupish gray color, and I'm just packing that right where we applied the eyeshadow. And you can take it a little bit higher as well. And don't worry if it lightens it a little bit because we're gonna go back in again with that matte black. I really like how this palette, even though it's so red and berry toned, obviously, you do have these pops of neutrals, like this one, the black, the white. Even this is a little bit more of a neutral. So I like that there are more neutral options. Like you literally could just take this taupe shade and pop it in the crease for a really nice like everyday look. I am going to start stamping a little bit further out here on this outer corner. And see, it just kind of works as a subtle shadow. And now that we have that down, I am going to go in with a little black dress, which I'm scared. Every time I use this shade, I'm scared because it's like dark. Dark like the devil's soul. I just took the tiniest little bit and I'm just pressing it super close to my lashes. I don't want to take it as high up as the taupey shade. I'm taking like this little weird, it almost looks like a finger or a claw. It's an angled brush, but it has a really fine tip, and I like using this for detail work like this, like eyeliners and stuff. I am going to bring it into this inner corner as well. I love doing eyeshadow. So relaxing. Just like the whole world fades away. And it's just you and the color. Cool. I'm gonna go ahead and catch this eye up to speed and then we'll move on to the red. Okay, so here's what we're looking like so far. I basically just went back and forth with the taupe and the black to somewhat get a gradient. We're not going for perfection. We're just trying to have fun here and play with some eyeshadow. So I tried my best, but I think it looks pretty cool, pretty smoky, and you can see how intense that matte black is. Literally, I just used the tiniest amount and it spread so far. So I really like how it's looking so far, but to zhuzh it up a little bit, I mean, you could totally leave it matte like this and it'd be really cool, but I do want to use this metallic red because how can we not? So I'm gonna take a little bit on a brush. I did put some NYX glitter glue on just to help prevent any fallout. And I'm just gonna lightly start tapping that onto the mobile lid. I don't want to take it too low to cover up all of that taupe, and I also don't want to take it too high. So I'm just starting off with a small amount and then we can add more later. It's always easier to add than it is to take away. This is such a pretty neon red because the shimmers in this are almost like a hot pink, like hot pink purple to red, and then with that red metallic base, it's just such a pretty unique shade, and it really just jumps out at you. It's not a normal like toasty kind of red, it has a little bit of playfulness to it. And then where the red and the taupe meet, I'm just sort of like gently tapping. I think that looks pretty cool. I'm gonna take a really tiny blending brush and just ever so lightly go around the edges, just so there's not like a super harsh line. I kind of do want it to be a little bit more structured, but I don't want it to look too choppy. Yeah, I think that looks better. I'm gonna go ahead and apply the red shadow to this eye, pop on some mascara, and then we will be back to see the final look. All right guys, so here is the final look, number 3.
Pick number 3, my lord.
Look number 3. I really like this one. The red on my lips and the red on my eyes is not entirely the same tone. This one's a little bit warmer. This is a little bit more pink, but it's fine. I think it still looks pretty cool, and I did want to wear a red lip because actually with the initial collection with the palette there was a lip kit. I didn't end up picking that up, but it was a red lip with a red lip liner. Oh, and I forgot to mention earlier in the video, I did get the mirror that came with this collection. It is so stinking cute. It is huge and the mirror is really high quality, but it's actually pretty lightweight for how big it is. A lot of times mirrors this big are just so heavy that your arm gets like tired as you're doing your makeup, but this one, it's not heavy at all. And I'm not very weak or very strong. I'm pretty weak, so that's saying something. I really like the mirror. The mirror is really great quality. And of course the palette I love. Final thoughts on the palette, very pigmented mattes. Shimmers are gorgeous, super dimensional. Again, my biggest tip would be to go in with a little bit at a time because the mattes are very pigmented, so you can overblend them. They can get a little bit more blown out, especially with the black. It's a little bit harder to control. But if you just take your time and work in thin, lighter layers, they blend easily, they build on top of each other easily. And honestly, the shimmer shades just blow me away. Classy Chic is stunning. Ooh La La is stunning. So pretty, so dimensional. Glitters without being glitters. They're like tiny little diamond fairy dust on your eyes. So pretty. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Again, let me know in the comments down below what your favorite look was, 1, 2, or 3. I don't know which my favorite is. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. It depends on my mood. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye.